Welcome, everybody, to the Bang 'em Out video series, episode 2. Alright? Title of this episode is a transformation of an average player. Why a transformation of an average player? It's easy, because there's so many players out there who are decent, who play a lot of rank. They're not that competitive, but, they play. And they feel like they've hit that pinnacle. Like, they can't get any higher than where they've gotten to already. So they just, they just keep going, and they just don't get better, and they don't know why, and they just play, and they just play, they just play. And it just isn't enough. So, I'm going to give you the tools to transform yourself from average player. The last episode, talked about just, like, little things, like big generalities that you need to do to focus to, up your game and to, like, get started, right? And, basically you just need to play the game and, apply those concepts, and then, you'll be okay. This will be much more in-depth, much more concrete. This might go over 15 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too worried about it. Okay. First thing you need to do. Alright? There's a bunch of things that you need to do in order to stop being mediocre and then you will become above average. This is what you need to do. This is what I'm going to talk about. Movement, working on your shot, map awareness, straight up practicing, positive attitude, and then also being the player that you want to be. So, first up is movement, okay? Straight up, movement is you need to be able to move around the map, you need to be able to go quickly, you need to be able to get to another position quicker than your opponent, and you need to be able to outgun him and outthink him. And the only way you can outthink an opponent is if you can actually move around the map. So, a few things that I'm going to start off by saying. A very basic move that will set you above others who don't do this is called the YOLO roll, or the pro roll, or just the roll, whatever. All you do is hold left or right on the joystick, and then you hold B. While you're flying through the air, you can start shooting your gun, and this will seriously mess people up. Like, it'll seriously mess people up. Like, let's say there's a guy, like, around this corner, like, right here. You could easily just go like this and destroy him. Some other aspects of this. I've seen players who, like, let's say, I'm wide in the open, and there's a guy behind this cover right here. What they'll do is they will straight up just roll like this, and they'll wait for this guy to pop up, and then they'll hit him in the face. And that's just, using your smarts and the movement to destroy the opponent. It's that simple. I would practice this, to each his own. Everyone has their own play style. Some people are passive, some people are aggressive. So you got to figure out what works for you and in what situations this move works for you. So my recommendation for all of this stuff that I'm about to show you is do it as much as you can. Figure out where it's good and where it's not good. I don't recommend rolling all the time, but in order to figure out when it's good for you and when it's not, you need to do it all the time. You need to practice it relentlessly. And then you'll be like, okay, I can't do it, if I'm rolling like this, I can't do it like that. I have to, that's not the right situation. Like, you need to figure out what situations are appropriate for the moves that I'm about to show you. Okay? Other things. If you know how to claw, then you can, cover swap, and you can move your camera as you're cover swapping. Now, what clawing is if you don't know, it's putting your middle finger on the joystick, or middle finger on the trigger, your index finger on the A button, or on the B or Y or X, and then putting your thumb on the joystick. So, middle finger trigger, index finger on the buttons, and then thumb on the joystick. What this allows you to do is it allows you to completely psych out your opponent, because when you're just running like this, you can't move your camera. But if you're on cover like this and you cover swap, you can look and stop and kill people, just like that. I do it all the time. Tune into the live stream. You will see me do it all the time, and it works. And this move where you can, like, move your camera while cover swapping, this allows you to chain moves together, almost like a combo system, you know what I mean? So I could go like this, I go like this, and then like this, and destroy, just like that. So, it's really simple. Oh, I also saw people asking, like, how do you do, like, like, that little, like, roll back into, like, the knee move, like, I can't even do it. Like, I can't think about it. If I think about it, then I can't do it. But I just simply, I roll to the right, and then I, hold left and B. And that gets me out of the roll into, like, the knee position. But, back to what I was saying. You don't even need to roll when you're chaining moves together. You can just go like this, and then there's no animation stop, so you can just immediately go into, like, gunfire. You can run past the guy, go like this, stop, you know, line it up with his face, and kill him. So this works really, really well because, you know, they won't be able to see you looking at them because it looks like you're, you know, looking at something else. You're really not. Other things. There's this other move that, is weird, and I don't really see anyone doing it, but I do it all the time, and it actually works for me. If you're just walking around like this, one move that you can do is you can just hold, like, you can double tap around a corner, and it'll give you a little boost of speed. It's just like, it's like up and A around a corner. It's just like this, and going like this, you know, where you just, like, run in front of the cover. Except you double tap the button, and it makes you, and your character, like, glitches a little bit, and he speeds up. It's just like this. You see that? You see that quick little movement? This will give you a boost around a corner, and, like, let's say you're going around a corner and you don't know what's there. If you do give yourself this little speed boost, it'll catch the opponent off guard. You know, there's all sorts of other applications for this too, but, you know, you just gotta, you know how to do it. Another move that you can do, I would suggest writing these moves down, people. They will help you if you practice them and you become good at them, then they will help you out immensely. So, another move is, I'm actually still practicing this one. My teammate showed me this one. But you roll, and now, you normally, when you press A when you're on the ground, you go, like, really slow like that. Like, you see how slow it was for me to get into that piece of cover? Now, if you're on the ground, you can just, if you hold B to get back up, instead of taking cover immediately, you can go like this, and just like that, and it puts you in cover immediately. So instead of holding A to get in the cover like that, hold B before you do it, and you'll be good to go. So B, A, boom, just like that. And what you can do is you can do this weird little animation, and it really messes up your character, but it looks really cool. You can go like this, like that. You see how quick that was? You see how quick that was? Like, I don't really know the application of that, but I mean, you could seriously mess an opponent up if you hit him with that. You know, go like this. Oh, you didn't want like that. Boom, just like that. You know? Scope out around a corner, don't like it, and then you can go back to cover. If you guys have ever played Gears of War, you can actually wall bounce in this game as well. This is another move. The only time I really ever do this is if I have an engineer like right in front of me with a shotgun and I know I'm about to lose, so I'm using a tar. What I'll do is I'll just go like this, wall bounce, destroy him, just like that. You know, wall bounce, beat him up. You know, it's really good against scouts and engineers. You know, it's not as effective as it is in Gears of War, but it has its place in the sun, you know? It definitely helps you out. So that's my recommendation. That covers pretty much all the movement basics. In all honesty, guys, it all comes down to how smart you are. You need to be able to have smarts. You know, I've seen players who don't do any of the moves that I just showed you and who are amazing. It's just outthinking your opponent, being 2 steps ahead. I talked about this, you know, yesterday. Like, if you know your opponent's going to pop up, you know, you can pre-fire him. Like, just go like this, pre-fire, wait for him to pop out of cover, and then, you know, beat him up. Just like that. You just got to work on your smarts. Try and always be the aggressive one. You know, think 2 steps ahead. Don't rush. Don't just run at the guy, but, like, try and, like, play tactical. You know, what is he going to do? How can you counter what he's going to do? What if he's trying to, you know, outthink you? How do you stay 3 steps ahead instead of 2 steps ahead? Things like that. If you contemplate that and you think about it and you put your plan into action, I guarantee you will see results. I'm going to bring us into a game here in a minute. One other thing, though, if you're trying to get your shot better, because I know players do have problems with this where they just can't get their shot better. They just can't do it, don't know how to fix it, you know, they feel like they suck. First of all, don't think you suck. If you think you suck, you're not going to get better, plain and simple. You got to feel like you're the boss on campus. You got to be like, I'm the greatest. And if you're not the greatest, then you got to be like, well, I can be. And if you don't think you can be, then I don't know what to tell you. I would say just practice and do what you got to do until you feel like you're really good. But in terms of working on your shot, always go for the hard shots. If there's a shot, you know, if I see this dude who's like right, you know, back here, there's like, I just have this small window for this headshot, and I don't know if I can hit it, just go for it anyway. If you miss, whatever. But if you hit the shot, then you're that much better because of it. And it gives you a little bit of confidence boost if you hit a really hard shot like that. You know, I've done things where, like, I'll, like, have a guy in front of me, I'll kill him, and I'll get shot in the back, and I'll just go like this, and then there'll be a guy right here, and I'll kill him, like, if he's shooting me, and it'll be instant. It'll just be instant. Like, I'll kill him, you know, roll like this, and then, you know, kill this guy. It's quick, it's seamless, and it gives you a confidence boost when you do it, and you'll feel better, and then you'll be even better because of it. So, enough with that. Enough with the firing range. We're going to immediately get into this game. Or load up a decoy. We'll just talk. Okay. Besides movement, besides working on your shot, besides those two key factors, which they do have a place, you need to have a good shot and you need to have good movement. If you want to have a good KD, which I know, everyone on the, everyone on the Ghost Recon forums, everyone's like, oh, KD doesn't matter. You're right, it doesn't. But if you have a .3 KD, I seriously suggest you take steps to become better. If you have above a 1.0, I think that's fine. I think anything above a 1.0, after you get above a 1.0, you can't judge. Because it all comes down to smarts. It all comes down to how well you play for the objective. Let me just start up the party here. So, like I said, above a 1.0, that's all you need to know. I have like a 2.7 or a 2.8, and that's just because I've practiced and I've, I almost have 20,000 kills now, so I've just been working and working and working. So, besides all these little things that I've been talking about, you need to have map awareness. You need to be able to know, like, this is probably the biggest thing that'll set you apart from every other player. Map awareness. If you know the map, you have an advantage that they don't. Like, what happened, what's over there, what's over there, what's over there, what's over there. You need to just be able to know. It needs to be instinct. All this stuff that I've been talking about, it needs to be instinctual. If you're going to practice it, it needs to get to the point where you're not thinking about it anymore. You're just doing it. Your mind just knows when to do it. Like, some things about map awareness, just little things. It's not even about knowing where positions are on the map. It's like, if you run out of spawn right here, and the other team, like, it's the beginning of the game, you can run into the mill before the other team can get to the mill. That'll give you a huge advantage. Okay, so we're getting data hacked. That's not good. So that's just a small example of, having map awareness, knowing that you can get into this mill before the other team can. Other things to take into note, like, you see how I'm data hacked right now? When you're data hacked, don't make moves, don't be aggressive. That's the wrong thing to do. You want to play campy. You want to be able to, just hold off the other team, because you're not making any moves. You're not doing anything because they know where you are. It's not going to happen. One. So this guy thinks he's tough. Optical camo does not save you. It just helps you. Nice little 4-piece. UAVs, I suggest immediately shooting down UAVs. Don't let them sit there and detect you. Don't do that. Right now I'm just giving you guys a running commentary. I'm going to throw a frag in here because yeah, right here. Alright, now with that frag, he's not going to die. Oh, okay, he does die. If he didn't die, though, you can still be aggressive on him, because he's going to be stunned on the ground. He'll probably be expecting it, but, you could have rolled. I could have rolled and just outthought him a little bit, being 2 steps ahead of him. Things like that. I hear a silencer behind me. Alright, we're good. Now, I know it seems like I'm not taking cover or anything, and I had one player. His name was Apocalypse. He was in the forums and he was saying, "Oh, well, you don't use cover." Okay, right there. Before I get into my point, that was an example of outthinking the opponent. Okay, look, this guy knows I'm here. I just roll on him, so he's not expecting the move, and I can just beat him up. He's walking to me. He doesn't know. I just roll out on him, and he doesn't expect it. It makes me 2 steps ahead of him. If he was expecting it, then he would have aimed at the ground and he would have killed me. Now, I could have done something to be 3 steps ahead of him, but I didn't. Now, if people say I don't use cover, then they're not watching closely enough. I use cover. See how I'm walking into this wall right here? This is me using cover. Because if I'm on this wall and I L-trigger out, you see how it blooms out like that? You can't, it's ineffective. Using cover like this is ineffective to L-trigger out. Now, if you're just zooming in, it's great. But if you're just L-triggering out, it's bad. So, with that said, I go like this. I walk into the wall. There's no bloom. I can just go like this. It's easy. It's good. It's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Oh, I'm about to die. About to die. About to die. About to die. I see mad people over here, so I'm just going to back up. I got a hit marker. so I know that there's people over there. This is me trying to be a step ahead of the other team. I'm going to flank around. Okay, so one person knows I'm here, right? One person knows I'm here, so I'm going to slow down. He thinks I'm flanking. You know, he saw me run past, so I'm just going to sit here. Now I'm detected by a UAV. You know, this is all stuff like little tiny things that you need to do to try and stay ahead of the opposition. You know, I thought I killed him, but I didn't. How we doing? 10 and 2. You know, 10 and 2, not bad. You don't see me going for spawn camping. You see me pushing up, trying to get kills. You know, doing what I can do. I'm trying to help my team. I'm trying to open up holes in the other team's defense. Oh, here we go, here we go. There we go. Just like that. You know, I was just patient. Waited for that to pop out. Look at that. That was a good shot. That was me out-shooting the other opponent, you know? Most of the kills I've gotten have either been through smarts or just having a better shot. Another thing in movement, always use this left hand and right hand. You see how I'm using that? This is always a great tool to use. You know, if you use cover the way I suggested, then one thing that you will definitely be doing is using this left-hand piece of cover a lot. Like left-handing your player so that way you can look around a wall. An example would be, you know, oh wow, gold mine of kills right here. Get me a medic! You know, if I'm on this cover, then I would right hand. If I'm on this cover, I'll left hand. Left hand, you know, I have more view if I left hand like this. One thing to do, bait this demo. Let the other players, like, run out. Just like that, you know, I baited the other players out. I made them come out of the woodwork. Now I can kind of systematically find them and beat them up.
Our forces are deadlocked.
I don't see him. Oh, that's not good. So the game's lagging out, guys. Not much I can really do about it. But I think this is a good place to wrap it up. How did we do? 16 and 4. Not bad. You know, I like to keep my KD at a steady 3.0 because that means that it takes at least 3 people, 1, 2, 3, to handle me. It takes 3 people to hold me back. And that's great for my squad. That gives my squad a 5v3. And it, you know, it helps everybody out. If I can kill a bunch of people, that's what I bring to the table. And I don't try and spawn camp. Spawn camping is not good in this game, guys. I think we just won. Yeah, we did. But yeah, guys, don't... People say, oh, you know, Hectic, you only have a good KD because you either leave games or, you know, you do whatever. That's not true. You know, I don't leave games. I think I've left maybe like 3 games out of my 20,000 kills. Like, probably about 5, to be honest. Now it's either because I had to go, or I was tired, or I just, you know, whatever. But, in all actuality, in all seriousness, don't spawn camp, guys. You will see your win-to-loss ratio drop like none other if you spawn camp too hard. Because what happens is, you spawn camp, then they're going to spawn behind you, and all the objectives aren't in their spawn, they're normally behind you. So if you're in their spawn, it's... Okay, so the game restarted. This isn't good. That's not good. Yeah. Oh! I don't even know how I just won that. What? I'm so confused right now. What is going on? Okay. But I think I just got grenade launched in the stomach. But, yeah. If you're gonna spawn camp, like, if you have to spawn camp, if you're just like, dude, I have this urge, I have this itch, I'm, like, addicted to spawn camping, I just need to spawn camp, then what? Fine. Whatever, do it. But know how to do it. If you're gonna spawn camp people, guys, let them walk across the red line, because if they're behind the red line and you kill them, then they spawn behind you, and then that's one player that can give spawns to 2 or 3 of his teammates. Two of his teammates. And then that's half their team that's running around on your base, in your map, on the objective. So if you're going to spawn camp, do it properly. Don't lose games because you're just sitting there killing them behind the red line. Let them walk across the red line and then kill them. That is the proper way to spawn camp. If you do it the other way, then you're going to lose. So yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Connection to server lost. You know, what can you do? Happens to the best of us. Other than everything I said, practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice practice it all. You know, you need to be able to practice these moves and incorporate them into your gameplay. Figure out the player that you want to be. Figure out the style that you want. Do you want to be passive? Do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to set the tempo, or do you want to let them make the mistake? For me, I like to be aggressive. I like to keep players at a distance while also pushing up and being aggressive. I like to push them all the way back so my team can handle the objective. I like to completely take over a game by myself. I like to dominate the other team and allow my team to take the objective. That's how I like to play. Keep a positive attitude. Don't get too down on yourself. If you're like, oh, I can't do this fucking roll move. I can't do it, man. Like, seriously, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Just do it, you know? Just work on it, and if it doesn't work, if you're having trouble, just keep working on it, and don't just be light about it, you know? Realize that knowing how to roll, knowing how to do the wall bounce thing that I talked about, how to do the up and A thing that I talked about, the cover swapping thing I talked about, all of those things do not set you apart as a player. What will truly, I mean, they will set you apart. What will truly set you apart as a player will be your knowledge of the game, your smarts, and how much you can think ahead of your opponent. That's what I'm talking about. I think next video series will be about thinking ahead of your opponent 100%, because that I've touched on that on 2 episodes now, and that will be the topic of next episode. So thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, you know, bang them out. Play hard. Play to win. Let's get this done. Have fun on Ghost Recon. Don't get upset about the servers. Ubisoft is doing everything they can. Alright, that wraps it up, guys. Have a good day.